And I thought you guys really defended, really from the get-go. They had a couple of three, successful backdoor cuts where they got some layups.
Yeah.
But other than that, they could not find shots. And you really limit one of their better scorers and better shooters in Damask. He could never get going. He didn't make a field goal. He was, 0 for 7 from three-point range, 0 for 10 from the floor. He had 6 points, but all at the free throw line. He was frustrated all night here long, and your defense really helped win this ball game.
Yeah, that was obviously the biggest part of our scout was taking him away. And I give Yagan a lot of credit because that's not normally a matchup that we would put him on in terms of a guy that can score on the perimeter and make some plays. Usually want to put him on guys closer to the basket so he can clean everything up and protect the rim. But just with him and Pat, we thought that one made a little more sense. And he did a great job of just focusing and executing because that's, again, like he's guarding pin downs. He's guarding stuff that he's not used to seeing. And he found a way. And then also credit to Gabe and credit to Julian. I thought they did a really nice job on him when they had their chances with him as well.
Your reference Misalski, and we continue to talk about him every time we do one of these post games because he had another beast game inside. 18 points, some nice drives to the basket, aggressive on the offensive end, but again, defensively, he held down 9 rebounds.
Yep.
We only had 1 block shot in the stat sheet today, but I think he impacted about 4 or 5 or 6 different drives to the basket where guys were going in and they had to go a different direction because of the way he defends inside.
Yeah, he's a fantastic defender. And like we talked about, he probably only had 1 or 2 because he was way further away from the basket than normal. But I thought Pat and Zane did a really good job of occupying the paint as well and not letting him get any straight line drives. We made a good adjustment in the second half, taking away some of those back cuts that they were getting, some of the chin cuts that they were getting that allowed them to get some easy baskets. Once we figured that out in the second half, I thought we did a really good job of keeping everything in front and making them make and take tough ones, and that led to them shooting 29.6% from the field in the second half.
Nice bounce-back ball game for JB, your fine point guard. Jamal Bowie didn't shoot it well down in Arizona. He saw a lot of double teams in his defense. Both those teams, it seemed their mission was to take him out of the ball game.
And don't get it twisted, this team's mission was that as well.
Yeah, probably here today also. I think a lot of teams' missions is going to be take Jamal Bowie out of the ball game. But today he was 8 of 12 shooting, 20 points. He had some tremendous drives, a couple where he just turned it on and went inside around guys, twisted through people, and made layups. He was tremendous here today.
No, where what he did great was he didn't panic after the last 2 games, right? It would have been easy to be like, I was scoring 20 a game. They shut me down. I'm struggling. What am I going to do now? I'm going to try to go play hero ball and work, harder to get mine. No, he did what was best for the team. He kept working it, took his chances, or took his opportunities. I thought he did a really good job of getting downhill against these guys, especially early in the game. And, 20 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a first-round draft pick if I see one.
You can't say much more than that.
No, he's a great player. And we got him a little rest in the first half, which helps. I just feel so comfortable with on the floor. I honestly, I generally let him tell me if he needs a rest or not. He's earned that being his 5th year in the program. And we just have, great communication during the game. So, he's our leader, and him and Yalian have really taken, and with Khalil, have taken the leadership of this squad. And it's just a really fun group to be a part of.
We've seen the last couple of games, although he didn't shoot it quite as well today, what Zane Meeks brings to your club, a true stretch 4.
Yep.
And I was commenting with Jim during the broadcast. I mean, heck with the fact that, he didn't quite shoot it as well. He had a couple of just really big defensive rebounds. He really blocks out on the defensive glass.
Yeah, he's a really good player. He's, again, we've talked about this quite a bit, but he was going to be a guy that was playing 20, 25 minutes a game for us as we started the year, and then he gets that tough injury against LIU. And, he's credit to him. He's back. We were worried it was going to be a while before he got back out on the floor, and he had to work through it a little bit. The UNLV game, the Fresno game, he wasn't quite himself. And but Arizona State, it kind of felt like, boom, I'm back. And I think he said that after he made every 3.
Yeah.
I'm back, baby, I'm back.
Yeah.
I love him though, and he's a tough kid. He has a high level of confidence and belief in himself, and you have to when you're a shooter. And he's just the type of guy that's going to give us a big lift over the rest of the year.
Coach, we have a little moment of levity here when your team's 12-1. We have a special request, a text question from Scott Sidwell, former athletic director.
Okay.
Scott wants to know when you're going to get your first technical.
It
hasn't come yet,
no,
right?
No, it hasn't. And I thought I was close today. I thought Nick Carruthers was thinking about it. But honestly, I just can't. I can't get myself over the hump because I don't want to give the points.
Yeah.
I just it would kill me if
possession and all that.
Exactly. If
it
ever led to us costing us in any form or fashion, I just would. It'd be hard for me to live with myself. And I try to work it so I let them know what's going on, but I don't ever put myself in a position where they could bang me with the tee. But Scott, I'll keep working on that. I'll try to make you proud in league.
The mild-mannered Todd Golden. Scott, we should say, and if Scott's watching, because I know he is, because he listens to a lot of our broadcasts. Scott, I can tell you from sitting next to Todd along the bench at Arizona State that there were a couple calls he was not too pleased with, and there was some language down there along the bench that could lead to a tee down the line, right?
We'll see. We'll see. I try to mask it well. Sometimes I don't, but we'll see how it goes.
Tell us about the little break here. We head into the holidays. Will your guys, at least those within range, I know you have a number of players that you recruited from halfway around the world, probably a little tough for them to get home, but will your guys have that opportunity to get away for a few days and be with family during the holidays?
Yeah, so they're released, and so some of them will head home right now, some of them, I guess, in the morning, and then we'll get back together on the 26th, around lunchtime and get ready to practice and really just kind of get organized and back on track so we can get ready to play Academy of Arts, and then really obviously we can't take them for granted, but we're getting ready for league play, which starts January 1st in Moraga.
Tell us about the Academy of Art, because as you just said, you can't take them for granted. This is a team at the Division II level that won on the road at Davis against the Division I team, right?
Yep.
So you better be ready.
No, they're a good club. Anybody that can beat Davis, and Davis is a good team. They beat Utah State earlier in the year. It's a game that we have to prepare and be ready for. So we'll just circle it up, and we got to get ready to compete. And I'm not sure how great our prep will be on them, simply because we don't have a lot of film on them. But again, just like any other scenario, we got to come out and just play our tails off and just compete and let the chips fall where they may.
There you go, Coach. Enjoy it. Your team's 12-1.
Yep.
And we'll see you next week for the Academy of Art.
Thanks, Pat.
All right, USF head